my opinion, but not talking about Grandma Nikki necessarily, but she said she, somewhere her in her DNA it told her that she was going to be okay, and I hope and I hope that's what like she was thinking. Okay, maybe these kids will be better without me, or I hope that's what the case was. But some people are just shitty parents, Dad. Some people just don't and they don't deserve to be parents. They don't they don't deserve the kids. I tell Ash all the time I don't deserve these kids love me more than I ever thought anybody could ever love a person. And it's the most amazing thing. I do not understand how people can be so shitty to their kids. Sorry for
Well, it,
cussing twice,
but
but
it,
sometimes it's the only word that really gets it along.
but if we could work with people and say, okay, don't hang your hat on that. Don't become the abandoned person. Find out how you can grow through that. What are the tools you can use? Remember, we're building people's toolboxes for this emotional playground that we're trying to get
Right.
people to play on. Is how can we undo the energy to that story and let them move on with their lives? Because in essence, saying somebody abandoned you and holding on to that is abandoning yourself.
Right. Yep. You're holding on to that and making sure that that abandonment has made you abandon yourself because now you're not going to be who you could be if you had just let that energy go, let that respond because you're taking it so far with you because so I mean I know people and we both know people. I mean even me. Look at how long it took me to realize. I mean, um, people holding and I think it's really holding any of that weight of things that you can't change is going to make you have some kind of abandonment issue um, in the long run. Holding on to any trauma, and I know that there's a lot of traumas that are going to be held on to, but um, was it somebody said forgiveness isn't for the other person; it's for yourself. And I thought that was such an awesome quote because the other person doesn't necessarily care. You know what I mean? Like, not everybody who abandoned you is going to care that they abandoned you or going to care that you're feeling bad because they did. The only one
Right.
you're hurting by holding on to
Or
that is yourself.
or you can flip that they do care, but you don't let them back in to say they're sorry
Exactly. Yeah. I mean,
because you're holding on to that old energy. And then that's the same thing. The forgiveness isn't for that other person. It's for yourself because then you can move on to the next thing.
right. Right. And that's what we want people like. That's another thing we want to help people with this podcast is have them move forward, have them become more of themselves. Like, and realize that it's okay to leave things in the past.
Yeah. One of the keys too of this is not to beat yourself up for doing what you didn't know you were doing. So if somebody, you can't beat yourself up for saying abandoning yourself or holding that energy for so long because it's just part of the process of unwinding and things happen in the right time. So it could be something that somebody says, "Oh man, I just wasted 10 years of my life with this." No, there's all kinds of things that have happened during that 10 years that you have done. That's just one little speck that you can release and move to the next level.
Right. And one thing which you're going to help a lot of people with this. I what I would love for this podcast to also do is people like say somebody's like, "Oh, I've wasted 10 years of my life on this," and then they learn how to deal with that situation the next time it comes around. And then they're like,